We're back with Look at Me Now, the Joy Fit Club, and the induction of our newest member.
He is a 32-year-old veterinarian from Oceanside, New York. He lost 155 pounds. His name is Brian Spar. And before we meet Brian, let's take a look at his story.
Hi, my name is Brian. Approximately 4 years ago, I tipped the scales at 340 pounds at my heaviest. I remember well this time in my life, when I wouldn't pass up a quart of Italian ices or even consider a walk around the block. I had to special order my triple extra large clothes online because no store carried such large sizes. I would literally start sweating with the effort of bending over to examine a dog at my veterinary office. I wasn't just overweight, I was morbidly obese. I was overweight for my entire life until I was fortunate enough to have a switch flipped inside my head, and I was able to remedy my problem before it became irreversible. I have lost 155 pounds with no surgery, no fad diets, and no professional advice other than my own research on healthy living. I am 185 pounds now and have been for the last 2 years. I have become a runner. If you had told me 4 years ago that I would utter those 5 words, I would have told you either to see a psychologist or get help for a drinking problem. But now I am a runner, and I've run numerous races. My ultimate goal was to run a full marathon, specifically the ING New York City Marathon. I completed the New York City Marathon in 4 hours, 40 minutes, and 21 seconds, a grueling test of my body's endurance. It was easily the most incredible and difficult thing I have ever done, and I'm hoping to do it again next year.
And the leader of our Joy Fit Club is here, today's nutritionist, Joy Bowers. Joy, happy Thanksgiving.
Morning,
Did you have a great one?
to you.
And we have a man, which is kind of nice.
I love that we have a man. And Brian is a super cool veterinarian. He has never had this emotional attachment to food like a lot of our other members. Instead, he simply loved to eat. And he went from being this junkie, like sort of fried food fanatic, to literally a nutrition superstar.
Wow.
I want to recruit him to work in my office.
Oh, really? Is that good?
He's that good.
Let's take a look at him before, one more time. Brian Spar. All right, Brian, come join the Joy Fit Club. Oh, it's Howie Mandel. I saw you in the
Oh, my God. Wow, congratulations.
You are one of the, we've only had 2 men in our Joy Fit Club, so we're so glad to have you.
Thank you.
How did you go from the picture on the left there,
and how
number 80? Number 80. How'd you go from that to you?
It took a while.
How long,
it took about 2.5 years. Gradually.
That's the healthiest way, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
It wasn't, no cold turkey, I'm going to change today. It wasn't like that.
What did you do that made you decide to start kind of trimming down?
It was kind of a progression of events for me. It was more of a, there wasn't one single epiphany where I was just like...
Was it a picture you saw?
A picture I saw wearing that was one of the events
this is one
that
of your
started me going. Yeah, that was my suit. Still is my suit. But, I was engaged. I was going to be married. Time to grow up a little bit.
But it's hard to start, though, isn't it? Sometimes taking that first step when
It is. I just started, and then it just snowballed.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, because you started doing a few things, and I think what really catapulted you into losing a tremendous amount of weight is seeing the results. He did a few things, and he started shrinking, and then he took off.
And you felt so much better, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And your friends must have freaked. Did they freak out?
Well,
what about your
not
fiancé?
at first, because it was slow, but gradually. But the people who haven't seen me in a while.
Tell them about the reunion.
I set up a little high school reunion last year because we never had an official one. And half the people had no idea who I was.
Oh, they didn't?
Yeah. So
okay, your trouble was you ate a lot like fried foods, fish and chips, and Joy. And I'm understanding that there were issues with Pringles, which we have a few of in the studio.
He was obsessed with Pringles, so this is sort of the ultimate reality check.
They're like the perfect chip.
Yeah.
Well, they do taste pretty darn good.
I have a thing with them too.
So one can of Pringles is just under 1,000 calories. Brian would
for the can?
For the can, and keep in mind that most people need 2,000 calories for the entire day.
So that's 2 cans.
So Brian, she's always trying to beat the system, right?
Okay, so
Brian would eat about 5 cans per week, just under 5,000 calories. At the end of the year, he'd consume, conservatively, 260 cans. That's 250,000 calories just from the Pringles.
I love when Joy stands next to Big
know.
Pringles. That's my favorite thing. That's incredible.
But the thing is, you don't know it because it's one chip at a time. But
when you've got 5 cans in a week, that's a lot of cans.
That's only part of it.
Really?
What else did you love?
Pizza, the ice cream, Coke.
Yeah.
Lots
And
of
now,
grilled
what do you
cheese
love? What do you
sandwiches.
crave now?
What do I crave? Dark chocolate, but I still have
But
it.
that can be
But
healthy
you eat
for
healthy.
you.
Yeah,
don't you?
I
He
have
gave
it
up
every
the
day.
sugar cereals. He's
Right.
now eating whole grain cereal. No more whole milk. He went to skim milk. I mean, like I said, I want to offer him a job.
Well, the most surprising thing about you is the marathon. I
Yes.
can't believe you ran it in 4 hours plus.
Yep.
That's incredible for any
is.
first timer. Could you
Yeah.
imagine that you would be running that New York City marathon?
Never in
Look
my
at you.
life.
And he's
Never in
got
my
a little
life.
baby.
And I have a little
So
baby.
the love life is working out.
It's working
isn't it?
out.
Yeah,
That's
baby.
me looking-
I think I think your brain chemistry does change once you. Do you feel like you've changed inside too?
Yeah,
how you
of
think
course.
about things.
Well, I still kind of see the old me when I look in the mirror sometimes, and it's a
Yeah.
little bit of a psychological game. But being able to fit into a chair on an airplane and not have to worry about buckling seat,
Yeah.
it's a whole psychological.
He was even
change.
featured in Runner's World.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's
Sean
amazing.
had.
But now when you
World
look at a
magazine.
Pringle, what do you think?
Nothing.
Really?
No,
Holds
no
no-
inclination at all.
Awesome.
Gosh, she's way ahead of me.
Brian, thank you so much. Thank you.
That Pringle. If you live on the East Coast and you and your family of 4 or more are having difficulties shedding those pounds, we want to hear from you for our
Yes.
Joy Life Diet
Help
Challenge.
her, help
Your
her
whole
out.
family, you can check out
I got your back.
todayshow.com for
Todayshow.com.
details.
Right.